Hey everybody, I just finished another book in the Spinetinglers series. This is The Curse of the Cheerleaders. Very awesome cover. Um, a friend of mine told me that this looks like a bulldog, which is really accurate. Yeah, it's a fun story. I have this wish list on thrift books, and this book popped up about 2 weeks ago, and it was like $45. I never see this book for sale anywhere, not on thrift books, not on eBay, Amazon, anything. So I was like, I'm gonna buy it, and I did. I immediately bought it. So I didn't have this in my TBR for this month. I did a TBR video. If you guys want to check that out too, that'd be cool. So I had this book, and I was kind of curious about it because it did seem kind of, maybe it was gonna be an underrated book. I read Pet Store last month, and it was bad. Or was that? I can't remember if that was last month or this month. I don't know. I've already pushed it away from my head, but yeah. The Curse of the Cheerleaders. The reason why I picked this book is it wasn't in my TBR, but I have a good friend of mine that we're buddy reading a bunch of books together, and I always kind of give her a chance to buy any of the books that I have in my TBR. And every book that I had, you can find. I just didn't know exactly how much you wanted to spend and all this stuff. So I had Step on a Crack and Killer Computer from the Spinetingler series. I really wanted to read something, though, to get the pet store taste out of my mouth. So I picked The Curse of the Cheerleaders because I never seen a listing for it. I knew she couldn't buy it. So yeah, I picked this one out, and it was not good. This wasn't a great book for me. I do feel like maybe some people might interpret this book a little bit better. I'm not sure. I just didn't love it. The story itself is about this girl named Diane that just moved to a new school. Her dad died, and she's just trying to make friends and all this stuff. She makes a friend named Sue, and Sue thinks cheerleading is kind of dumb, and all this. And she ends up joining a cheerleading squad. Diane does. And she's introduced to this girl named Carla. Carla is this cheerleader that went through like summer vacation. She went to this cheerleading school and is like the leader of all the cheerleaders and all this. And she tells Diane that she doesn't need to talk to Sue anymore because she's a cheerleader now. And like they go in through the lunchroom and all of the kids are scared of her, all of the cheerleaders and all this stuff. It, really weird. So, of course, Diane says, no, I'm not going to do that because I want to talk to my friend. She's one of my friends, And Carla doesn't like this, and everybody's like, you don't talk back to Carla. So Carla stares at her, and she starts choking, And, yeah, different things like that happen. So she doesn't, fight back with Carla anymore. She kind of sees how things are going. They go to her house, Carla's house, for a cheerleading practice. And Carla wants to show her one of the new cheers that she learned, which is a cheer basically focusing on lightning. I don't remember exactly how the cheer goes, but yeah. So they learned this cheer, and they said they're going to try it out in the new game if they have to or whatever. So yeah, we go to the new, the first football game, and Carla's boyfriend is one of the football players on the team, and she really wants him to win. He starts losing. So she tells him, let's try this lightning cheer or whatever. She starts doing it, and lightning starts striking, like the field. It starts hitting the people. Nobody dies or anything like that, but like it starts hitting the people and all of this crazy stuff. So, yeah, pretty awesome. First couple of pages, not bad. So immediately, Diane thinks something is up. This isn't normal. You shouldn't win a game like this. This isn't really winning. And there's this teacher that used to be a cheerleader, and she goes to talk to her about it, and she gets interrupted by Carla. Like, Carla knows that she's going to go talk to her somehow, like she has psychic abilities too. So yeah, it gets interrupted. They go to another football game, and this one is they do a different cheer for one about like people being pulled off by grass, and basically she's at a cheer and the grass starts pulling people off the field to let them win again. We quickly learn that the teacher that Diane went to go talk to is now in the hospital. She's really sick, and yeah, we already know that this has something to do with Carla. Yeah, so the first couple of chapters in this book are really good. The second half of this book is where it kind of falls apart. I think the author had a great idea, had some really cool imagery, different things like that. But it gets really silly and goofy. But again, I do think that if you were to tell me that this is one of your favorite books or whatever, I'd kind of understand it. Like, this isn't like the Where Have All the Parents Gone, where it's just bad, or the Pet Store, where it's bad. This is bad in my taste. Like, I just didn't have fun with it. All right, so we quickly learn that the Carla isn't the one that's really causing. I mean, she is causing all of these problems, but she isn't the one with the power. Like, she isn't like the one that has the power to do this. It's the uniforms. Somehow or another, Diane figures out it's the uniforms that have it, because Carla always tells the people to wear the uniforms to school and all this stuff. So yeah, Diane goes to visit this teacher that's, in the hospital and all this. And one of the worst scenes in the whole book happens. The teacher gets scared because she sees the cheerleading outfit and, start screaming, and all this stuff. And keep in mind, this teacher asked for Diane to come show up. And she knows that the uniform has the power, so she starts cheering for her to get better. And you're not scared, and all this stuff. And she does this in the middle of the hospital, which is just her and this, lady. It's very weird, very awkward. And then the doctors tell her to basically get out, which is funnier in my head than it was in the book. It didn't translate good on the book, I don't think. But yeah, that's basically what this book is. A couple of really scary scenes at the beginning, really cool scenes at the beginning, and then just kind of falls apart. One thing I didn't love about this book was the writing. I can't really describe it, but it had the same kind of writing style as Pet Store, like where if the protagonist says, "I'm going to go outside," all right, she goes on this tangent about something. Like, she'll explain every single thing. Like, you don't have to explain everything, Like, I like details in books and stuff like that as much as the next person, but, like, there's certain things that, like, the last half of this book could have been summed up in about 2 chapters, I think, because there's nothing really that happens other than she goes and tries to protect her mom and different things like that. So, yeah, this just wasn't for me. This wasn't one of my favorite books in the series so far. It was very weak. Yeah, I like the imagery at the beginning, and I was intrigued with the Carla character and stuff like that. And I was interested to see, like, where it went. I would much rather Carla be like the evil entity that is kind of just, on this book. One thing too, this covers clickbait. That never happens. I was expecting like the cheerleaders to be turning kids into frogs or something. No, none of that happens. It's just, a couple of scary cheers at the beginning and kind of really dull at the end. There is like a cool scene with like power lines falling down, tornadoes and stuff like that towards the end that I thought was good, but by that time I was already bored with this book and I was ready to start something else. I did like the tie-in of Sue's mom in this book. There's something that she does that actually helps the cheerleaders, which was a really good tie back. Another one thing too I want to complain about, there's way too many characters. There's like 8 cheerleaders and they're all cardboard cut out, nothing special. So yeah, that's pretty much the Curse of the Cheerleaders. I didn't love this book. I thought it was just kind of okay. Nothing super special for me. Please let me know in the comments below if you guys have read this book. My phone went dark because I think my battery died. Or is dying. So yeah, The Curse of the Cheerleaders, I give it a 2 out of 5 stars. I think that's pretty fair. A couple of things that I liked about it, but most of it was just very mediocre. I do appreciate the author for actually trying some of the stuff that they did. I think that the author had great ideas, but just didn't really execute them great. And I think that they didn't have enough ideas to make a full story. But yeah, Curse of the Cheerleaders, 2 out of 5 stars for me. Thank you guys. Bye bye.